ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوثن وراها.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Pearls of Union. Today our guest is a new pearl in this union and a special one as well. Today we're talking about the CEO and founder actually of Dixi Business Consultancy. It's an accounting, financial and operational services consultancy based in the UAE. It offers helping SMEs to corporate level success. And today we have Mr. Maher Nasri to tell us more about it. Hello, Mr.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you today?
Doing great.
Please tell us more about yourself, your journey, education, and all about it.
Well, I'm coming back from corporate. I used to be a CFO or head of finance for almost 14 years. Moving forward, I also have a privilege to be working in diversified industries, diversified sectors like real estate, import and export, healthcare, constructions, and oil logistics, and logistics in general as well. So on top of that, I had a chance to work with different nationalities in different geographical areas like US, Europe, and UAE as well. So that can, boost my knowledge and communication skills in order to reach out to different type of investors, business owners worldwide.
Of course. So we can say that the multicultural of the UAE was helping you in exposing the company to multicultural differences. Yes. For sure. So can you give us a brief about the services that you offer in the company?
Dixi Business Consulting is offering two major products. One is we call it fractional CFO services.
Of course.
We are tailor customized solutions for SMEs and startups to keep the control of the business and track the business performance month to month. And the second one, we are dedicated for financial planning analysis. We build a financial modeling, comprehensive one, dynamic for fundraising and for investment to navigate multiple scenarios, as well as try to understand what risks and what if analysis that can be impact to the business. Today we are living in dynamic world, and any business I consider it is being exposed to be impacted by macroeconomic as well as micro. Microeconomic is we consider as compliances, rules are changed day by day, and macroeconomics, which is like related to the economic of the country or the regions where we are living in.
Of course. I have a curiosity kind of question. Do you personalize each plan for each specific customer, or do you have a set plan that you do differences in, or how does it go?
We do custom tailored solutions because under the day is I met a lot of business owners. Maybe they are falling into the same sector. However, everybody has his own unique vision and different milestone how to tackle his own businesses. Of course, we are try part of our, we call it a key success formula. You consider it. We are always, you know, get from the owner his own plan, and we call it stress testing, running scenarios, and show it is, look, you are having vision to see it, your business in one way, but it's good to have scenario analysis. You need to be ready for anything change in the market, because on a daily basis we are living in, we call it high volatile metrics.
That's an amazing formula, Mr. Maher, and thank you for telling us about it. So, to go further into the investment sector, we're going to be asking questions about the organization itself. So, how do you define the true value that Dixi Business Consulting delivers to companies beyond the traditional concept of financial consulting?
Well, this is a good one. I guess we need to expose all our formulas today, it looks like. So basically is we are driving, of course, with technical analysis, understand the client's vision and align it what his own books are telling us. So basically is eventually is we dive with the client, understand his own business details, operation, understand how the money is being made. And when we do the SWOT analysis and linking operation to finance, to accounting, sitting with the owner's vision, it's easy for us to distinguish is where is the missing catch, where is the hidden opportunities need to be addressed, what is the risks associated with the business is ongoing. Those where we are like developing a lot of we call it scenarios, sitting with the owners, and that's what triggered a lot of, we call it an ideas about developing the business itself. That is on a basis gradually we are come up with a plan with the owner, with the business owner, to track the business. And I consider it, this is, we call it track the scaling plan based on our analysis.
It's amazing how you not only bring the vision to life, you also protect it from going into a risk. That's really nice. So, how does the role of fractional CFO change the way decisions are made inside companies that do not have in-house financial leadership?
Well, put it this way, if any company doesn't have any financial leaderships, decisions will be based on urgency and instincts.
Crisis management.
It's like an action and reaction. However, fraction CFO is providing, we call it a structure. The decision will be made on a budget, cash flow, profitability, and long-term planning. And that's where the decision will be more consistent and sustain the business success.
Of course. When preparing companies to attract investors, what makes a company truly funding ready rather than just presentable on paper?
Well, fundraising is a big topic. End of the day is getting fundraising is not based on presenting a nice pitch deck or nice presentations. It's about how the business model is being presented solid. The assumptions need to be reasonable. And for almost is like, you need to establish what you call it leadership and determine how you scale the business up. All together, we call it a formula. We develop always for startups a roadmap in order to move, not only providing what do you call it, the solutions or roadmap for them, rather to mentor them in order to see how they are developing their own business ideas, moving ahead, and get them ready for fundraising.
Since you mentioned leadership and you are a person who is worth defining that word, how would you define leadership from your own vision?
Leadership is monitor the business exactly, monitor the changes in the environment and the markets, and take a decision on the right time. This is a perfect moment when the decision will be taken, because if decisions taken is like delaying, it's too much too late to do any what do you call it?
That's amazing. So you work with multiple sectors such as real estate, healthcare, retail, and energy, as you mentioned before. How does financial strategy differ from one sector to another, and where do you see the greatest challenge in these sectors?
Well, put it this way, every sector speaks different financial language. End of the day, real estate, they are focused on capital structure and what do you call it, market timing. That's very important. When we talk about energy, we are talking about long-term planning and risk management. When we talk about retail, we are talking about the margin, inventory, and customer behavior. So healthcare is always about efficiency and compliance. So the mindset about every sector is demanding what's need to be done in order to sustain the business and reach to the, what do you call it, target result.
Of course, to the target business and audiences, that's right. But today, the sector that you're working in is so competitive and so changing, actually. So, which financial indicator do you consider most critical for making the right strategic decisions in a market like this?
I can say cash flow. Cash is a king.
You summarized it.
For example, no matter how profit is the business is making, if they're struggling with the cash flow, having bad credit terms, it will be struggling. Cash flow always bring to the business stability, able to growth, and end of the day, we from the valuation perspective, always we are considering the cash flow is a good indicator about the business is doing good.
Of course. So when we talk about financial restructuring, what is the most common mistake that causes some companies to fail in executing their idea?
That's a good question. Because when you mention terminology restructuring to any business owner, suddenly he came to the point resonance is cutting costs, which is not always the case. End of the day, restructuring is analyze the business model, see where's the weaknesses, and try to be having supplement remedies or try to alter, optimize the business in a way that it can be robust. The business will be strong enough to respond to market change, resilience enough, and able to scale up.
Of course. Since your company is amazingly working today in the industry and you have a long-term experience, if you were to summarize your philosophy in this sector, what is the golden rule that you would describe as the key to this industry?
Well, it's easy to build a plan, strategic on the paper. And it's easy to define all the scaling over a period. However, lack of leadership cannot turn these documentations to reality. Sometimes I can see business owners are delaying decisions, even they agreed on it. And that's what we call it is a mindset of the business owner, how he's dynamic and active to his own business. We can show the door, but he is the one to be open it. So that's what we call.
Of course, that's an amazing answer to the question. Actually, it's an amazing golden rule that you have. Mr. Maher, what's an advice today that you would give to the passionate people or passionate younger adults who's inspired to get into this sector today?
So my advice to young people is focus on one thing is technical finance analysis is very important to be equipped with. There's a lot of modality need to be grabbed. AI is another sector is being now entering to the financial domain, and that is very important to grab the aspect of it. Eventually I call it every individual has his own unique opportunity based on what he's doing and what value can be added to the table. Don't expect the return on a short term, rather to be focused on the long term about comprehensive knowledge and delivering a professional service.
That is such an inspirational message. Thank you so much. And since you're operating today on the land of the UAE, do you have any message or would you like to say a word to the UAE itself as a country or the leaders of it?
Well, I would say is we are proud to be part of this economy, and we are strive to be boosting this economy, is supporting and strengthening this SMEs community here, even the corporates, with our services. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our audiences, today we went deeper into the sector of consulting with Dr. Maher, and we learned more about Dixi Business Consultancy, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching.
الشيوخ اللي الله رعاها ربت قلوب لا تذكر الفزعات إلا طراها، مداتها بالعطايا هي تسد. وأم الشيوخ